We revise this lecture because of it is not clearly seen. That's why I want to revise these groups. So this is the algebra paper number 2, algebra paper 2, but paper number is 8 actually. Algebra second we say groups and normal subgroups. So first we see groups. In the third sem we have seen the definition of group and whatever will be. So, so see now, in the last semester course of algebra, we have studied groups, subgroups, cosets and their properties. In this semester, we are going to study Lagrange's theorem and its applications, normal subgroups, quotient group and homomorphism of groups. Okay. Definition, let G is a group, or suppose G is a group and H is any subgroup of G there, and let A, small a be an element of G, then the set HA, which contains the elements of the type HA such that H is from that set H is called the right quotient of H in G generated by this element A. So, similarly, this is called the left quotient of H in G. So, this is the right and this is the left quotient. Now, see the definition of index of a group. Let H be a subgroup of a finite group G. The number of distinct right quotients of H in G is called index of H in G. It is denoted by G or H in bracket. So there is one example. What is meant by the index of a group? Let H be a subgroup of finite group G. Okay, that is the group G is finite and H is subgroup of G. The number of distinct right quotients of H in G is called index of H in G. It is denoted by this symbol. So see, there is one example, simple example. G be Z6 be the additive group of integers modulo 6 and H is 0, 3 be a subgroup of G. Then we have to find index of H in Z6. So before to proceed, I want to clear one idea, that is, what is this Z6? We have seen it is in the third semester. But Z6 means additive group of integers. So what is Z6? The Z6 elements contain 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we prepare the composition table for that. Okay, composition table. That is this is additive group of integers modulo 6 symbol for. This is our binary operation. This is binary operation. Here is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and here is also 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just to see what is meant by the additive group of integers modulo 6. So this is our binary operation. This is addition and at the base written 6. Addition modulo 6 we call it. So 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 1, then this first row as it is, no problem. Then 1 plus 0 is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4 and 1 plus 4 is 5, 1 plus 5 is 6. So instead of 6, what is this actually? The addition modulo 6 is 6 divided by 6, the remainder is 0, so here entry is 0. Okay, if here is 2 now, then 2 plus 0 is 2 divided by 6, remainder is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 divided by 6, remainder is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 divided by 6, remainder is 5. So 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 divided by 6, the remainder is 0. 2 plus 5 is 7. So where we are? 2 plus 4 is 2 plus 3 is 1 minute. 0, 2 plus 0, 2 plus 1, 2 plus 2 here is 4. Here is 4, here is 5 and here is 0, that is 2 plus 4 is 6, 2 plus 5 is 7 divided by 6, the remainder is 1. Similarly, you can prepare this, that is 3 plus 0 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4, 3 plus 2 is 5, 3 plus 3 is 6, 3 plus 4 is 7, 3 plus 5 is 8 divided by 6, the remainder is 2. I think you can get this point. Okay, what is this addition modulo 6? So Z6 or G is a group. It is finite group because it contains finite number of elements. And H be 0, 3. Then all quotients of H in Z6 are Because of this is the addition modulus 6, here is h plus 0. We call this is the right quotient of h in G. So h plus 0 means 0, 3. That is add 0 in this h, we get 0, 3. H plus 1 is 1, 4. You can get it. H plus 2 is 2, 5. H plus 3 is 3, 0. 3 h plus 3 is 3 0 means 0 plus 3 3 3 plus 3 6 6 divided by 6 remainder is 0 so 3 0. Similarly you can get it h plus 4 is 4 1 h plus 5 is 5 2 but see now this h plus 3 means h 0 3 or 3 0 they are same. H plus 4 means h plus 1. H plus 5 means h plus 2. H plus 2 is 2 5 and h plus 5 is 5 2 they are same. So how many distinct quotients of h in G? They are only 3. That is h plus 1, h plus 2, may be written h plus 3, h plus 4, h plus 5. So index of h in Z6 is 3 because definition is the number of distinct right or left quotients of h in G is called index of h in G. What is the notation? See that. Then there is one theorem. Let H be a subgroup of G, then there is a one-to-one correspondence between any two right quotients of H in G. One thing important is that is I want to take the whiteboard because of to explain the definitions, some definitions you can understand it easily. Just we have seen that is Z6 means that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a group and we denote it is by G. So G means Z6 means addition modulo 6. We know the composition table, just we have seen it. So is this a group or not? We have seen in the third semester. So just we revise it to memorize this one. Okay. So first to prove this is a group, there are 4 exams. We know that. The first exam is closure property. Second is the distributive property. Third is the existence of identity. And 4 is the existence of inverse. You know this one. Okay. So closure means what? Any two numbers we can add. The resulting element is in the set. That is 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 divided by 6 means remainder 3. 3 is in the set. Take down any two numbers, add it. The resulting element is in this set Z6. So first property holds. Second, same for distributive. Take down any 3 elements. That is, I want to take the example. That is 3 in this way. 4, 5. Am I right? A, that is, we can write A plus into bracket B plus C. This is the. So here is plus means addition modulo 6. So 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 divided by 6 is 3. We know that. So this is 3 plus 3 means 6 and this is 0. This is A plus into bracket B plus C. Then A plus B bracket complete plus C. So A plus ABC we have taken this one. 3 plus 4 plus 5. This is addition modulo 6. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 divided by 6, the remainder is 1. 1 addition modulo 6, 5. So 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 divided by 6, remainder is 0. So both are equal. That is distributive law holds. Clearly distributive law holds. So we take this one. I don't want to wash all the things, that's why I've taken this one. Okay. So closure law holds, distributive law holds. Then see existence of identity element. Existence of identity. This is you can easily see there is an identity element that is 0. Okay, that is a plus 0 means a, whatever may be. Take down a from this set. Okay, so take down any number. A means 5. 5 plus 0 is 5 divided by 6. Remainder is 5. So that is we get a. So this is existence of identity element, and we say that this 0 is identity element of this group G. Existence of inverse now means what? That is take down any two elements a plus b. If addition of this is 0, then we say that b is inverse of a or a is inverse of b. Okay, because this 0 is identity element. 0 is identity element. So take down a means any number. Suppose 1. So 1 plus. So b. This is I want the answer is 0 means identity element. So here b means 5 because 1 plus 5 is 6 divided by 6. Remainder is 0. So this implies inverse of 1 is 5 or inverse of 5 is 1. Take down a means 2. So 2 addition model 6 is equal to 0. So we take b means 4 now because 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 divided by 6 is 0. So this implies inverse of 2 is equal to 4 or 4 inverse is equal to 2. So we get inverse of 1 is 5, inverse of 1 is 5, inverse of 2 is 4 in this way. Then we can take this a different, that is different from this one. Okay, now see. So that is a means 3. So addition model 6. I want the answer is 0. What is the b here? So b is 3. So 3 plus 3 is 6 divided by 6. This implies inverse of 3 is equal to 3. Then what is about 0? 0 plus that is a 0 is equal to 0. For this I want 0 means 0 plus 0. B must be 0. This implies inverse of 0 is 0. So inverse of 0 is 0, inverse of 1 is 5, inverse of 5 is 1. So we get so inverse of each element exists means the Z6 is a group under the operation addition modulo 6. I think you got it clear idea about this one. Okay, see this, these are the 4 properties. Next is the abelian group means the commutativity holds means a plus b must be equal to b plus a addition model 6. No problem about this one. So this group is also abelian group. So we turn towards our PDF. We turn towards the PDF where we are. See now we are up to this one. Am I right? So H is subgroup of G. Then there is one-to-one correspondence between any two right cosets of H in G. Okay. Next theorem. Here is theorem 2. Any two right cosets of a subgroup are either disjoint or identical. We have seen this example here. आपण इथं ह्या एक्झाम्पल मध्ये राईट कोसेट्स आणि लेफ्ट कोसेट्स काढले. लेफ्ट कोसेट्स हे सगळे राईट कोसेट्स आहेत. लेफ्ट कोसेट्स मीन्स 0 plus h. So 0 plus h means same, that is 0, 3. Then 1 plus h means 1, 4, etc. So these are the right cosets, these are the left cosets. So what is the theorem? What is the theorem is either these left or right. हे किंवा ते काय असतील ते. So we take first right. Either these right cosets are equal or disjoint. Now see, here is the example. h plus 0, 0, 3. इथं आहे 0, 3. पण असा काय राईट कोसेट येत नाहीये की h plus 0, 0, 3 आहे, h plus 1 is 1, 4 आहे आणि एखादा राईट कोसेट येतोय 1, 3 असा. मग h plus 0 हा जो राईट कोसेट आहे आणि हा वेगळा कोणता जर राईट कोसेट आहे त्याच्यात 1, 3 आहे, तर असं कधी एक्झिस्ट होणार नाही. एक तर ते इक्वल असतील किंवा कम्प्लिटली वेगळे असतील. ओके, ध्यानात आला असेल तुमच्या. So any two right cosets or left cosets of a subgroup are either disjoint or identical. So we take next theorem. We are not going to explain the proof of this. Okay. H is subgroup of G, then G is equal to union. This is the union. Sorry. This is union of right cosets or left cosets. Okay. So G means what? G is equal to H union HA union HB. These are the right cosets. We say they are the distinct right cosets. Again, we turn towards that example. This is also a simple example. That is, take down, that is what is Z6, we know that. What is Z6? So Z6 is here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now see this Z6 means H union H plus 1 union H plus 2. Clear? Do you get this one? Now see, H means H plus 0, and this is 0, 3. Union H plus 1 is 1, 4. Union H plus 2 means 2, 5. Okay. So what is the union of this is? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is clearly Z6. That's why that theorem. Okay. We turn towards that theorem. See, what is the theorem? H is subgroup of G, then G means union of all these left or right cosets of H in G. Okay. Then there is one more theorem called Lagrange's theorem. If G is finite group and H is subgroup of G, then order of H divides order of G. Very important theorem. If G is finite group and H is subgroup of G, then order of H divides order of G. आपल्याकडे परत ते example आहे. This is G is a group, finite group, because it contains finite number of elements. Clearly H is 0, 3 is a subgroup. Okay. तो सबग्रुप आपण प्रूव्ह केला नाही, पण चारही एक्झाम्स त्याच्यावरती प्रूव्ह होतील. म्हणजे तो H हा ग्रुप आहे आणि 0, 3 एलिमेंट याच्यात आहेत. ऑपरेशन बायनरी ऑपरेशन सेम, म्हणजे G जे असेल तेच H चे असायला पाहिजे. सो वी से H इज द सबग्रुप ऑफ G. नाउ व्हाट इज दैट थ्योरम? Order of H divides order of G. Order of G is 6 because it contains 6 elements. Order of H is 2 because it contains 2 elements. We know that clearly 2 divides 6. दोन्ही 6 ला भाग जातो. Clear example here. What is the output of that is, see that we turn towards this one, Lagrange's theorem. That is important one. If G is finite group and H is subgroup of a group G, then order of H divides order of G. मग एखाद्या ग्रुप मध्ये 6 एलिमेंट्स आहेत आणि मी म्हटलं की H इज सबग्रुप ऑफ G आणि H मध्ये 4 एलिमेंट्स आहेत, तर ते चुकीचं आहे. कळालं? म्हणजे 4 ने 6 ला भाग जात नाही. मग त्याचा अर्थ इथे रिमार्क्स आहेत किंवा कोरोलरी आहे. द इंडेक्स ऑफ एनी सबग्रुप ऑफ फायनाइट ग्रुप इज डिवायझर ऑफ द ऑर्डर ऑफ द ग्रुप. If G is finite group, where is that? 1 minute. Okay, we see it here. If G is finite group and A is element of G, then order of A divides order of G. Order of A means order of A. You must clear this idea. What is meant by the order of A? This one. What is order of A? Divides order of G. What is meant by order of an element of a group G? So n, the integer positive, is called order of the element A if A raised to n must be equal to the identity element, that is E means identity element of the group G. Then we say that n is the order of that element E. Okay, do you get this one? Next is, if G is finite group of order n, then for all A belongs to G, A raised to n is just to explain where E is identity element of the G. Now here are the remarks. Makashi म्हटलं the remarks इथं आहेत. If G is finite group of order n and m is not a divisor of n, then by Lagrange's theorem there is no subgroup of G of order m. जर G finite group आहे आणि त्याच्या ऑर्डर n आहे, म्हणजे त्या G सेट मध्ये n एलिमेंट्स आहेत, तर m एलिमेंट असणारा कोणताही सबग्रुप G चा नसेल. याचा अर्थ काय? M is not divisor of N, then by Lagrange's theorem there is no subgroup of G of order M. Order M असणारा सबग्रुप हा G चा नसेल, त्याचं कारण M न N ला भाग जाणार नाही. Okay? If G is a group of order 8, then there are no subgroups of G of order 3, 5, 6, 7. When G is group of order 8, order means you know, सारखं रिपीट करतोय. G मध्ये 8 एलिमेंट्स आहेत. मग 3 ने 8 ला भाग जात नाही, 5 ने जात नाही, 6 ने जात नाही, 7 ने जात नाही. मग हे ऑर्डर असणारे सबग्रुप्स G चे नसतील. क्लियर आहे. If G is group of order P, then G does not have proper subgroups. If G is a group of order P, आपल्याला माहित आहे की प्राइम नंबरला कशाने भाग जात नाही, त्याच नंबरने आणि 1 ने भाग जातोय. Then G does not have proper subgroup. Okay? Converse of Lagrange theorem is not true. That is, if M is divisor of order, means what? Suppose G is a group of order 6 and 2 is any that is H is any set which contains 2 elements. We know 2 divide 6. It does not mean that H is subgroup of G. First of all, that must be subgroup, that must be group, and then it becomes subgroup. Okay? The alternating group, we are not going to take this one. Okay? This fifth one. The Euler-Phi function is defined for first integers n, phi of n, which is the number of positive integers less than or equal to n, that is that are relative prime to n. For example, if n is 8, phi of n is 4. Repeat this definition. We call that Euler-Phi function. Euler-Phi function is defined for positive integers and is denoted by phi of n, which is the number of positive integers less than or equal to n that are relatively prime to n. What is meant by relatively prime is a very important concept. Relatively prime, not prime. Okay? That is, we take an example, that is the 2 and 4. These two are relatively prime. Greatest common divisor of these twos. I want to clear this. That is, phi of n is equal to 4 means how it is. म्हणजे n 8 असेल तर 8 आणि कोणता नंबर की ज्याचं दोन्ही रिलेटिव्हली प्राइम असतील तर त्याच्यात 1 येईल, त्याच्यात 3 येईल, त्याच्यात 5 येईल आणि त्याच्यात 7 येईल. माझं मागाचं चुकीचं होतं की 2 and 4 are relatively prime. This is not correct. The important is the two numbers a and b are said to be relatively prime if greatest common divisor of these two numbers a and b must be equal to 1. म्हणजे ह्या दोन्हींचा मसावी हा 1 पाहिजे तर त्या दोन नंबर्सला म्हणायचं रिलेटिव्हली प्राइम. ओके? इफ n is 8 is not actually prime number, but 1 and 8, these are the relatively prime. Then 3 and 8, they are relatively prime. Then 5 and 8, they are relatively prime. 7 and 8, they are relatively prime. So we get how many numbers? 1, 3, 5, 7. So phi of n is 4. That is Euler-Phi function. Phi of 8 is equal to 4. See, the greatest common divisor of 1 and 8 is 1. Greatest common divisor of 3 and 8 is 1. Greatest common divisor of 5 and 8 is 1. Greatest common divisor of 7 and 8 is 1. So phi of 8 is equal to 4. This is our Euler-Phi function. Okay, no problem. Next time, in the next YouTube clip, I want to start with this theorem.